The Lida Show is on. The Lida Show is on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right now. Hey, this is Danny, aka Danny Mumbles, and this is the first Lida Show. Since this is new to me, you're going to see and hear some pretty amateur production going on. So I ask that you bear with me. It'll be okay. And I hope you laugh at it, because I'm going to kind of laugh. I'm going to laugh at myself and not worry about it too much. Don't hate. It's hard. This is harder than it looks. So yeah, we'll be on a journey together. So before I get into the list, the top 5 struggles of being a single dad, I want to give the background about Lida. So Lida is a social experiment, media, and style company. And what all that means is that you're going to see a video, an audio podcast, an online store. You got to have the merch, of course. And then soon we'll also be launching a brand that'll focus more on the social experiment side. All of that will be under the Lida company. All right, and so I want to let's talk some more about Lida. So the name itself, I was married. My wife passed away 11 years ago, breast cancer. And so I remember we were kind of daydreaming one day on the couch, and we were talking about how cool it would be to live on a road that you named. And we were, in our mind, it was the countryside somewhere, rolling hills. So she's from PA, I'm from VA. So we're kind of used to that kind of landscape. So we were all about that. So we thought, hey, it'd be cool I think Bennifer or some, celebrity combo names were happening during that time. And so we were like, we'll just combine our first names. So that's the LIDA. And then we were thinking, we don't really like Lida, so we pronounced it Lida. And so that's how that came about. And then the sunflower in the logo, so that was one of Lisa's favorite flowers. So that's how that came about. And about my name, the nickname, let's say, the handle. Yeah. The Danny Mumbles. So I remember growing up, my friends would give me the biz every time my teacher would call on me to read out loud a passage in a book, something like that. And I would just either flat out mumble, because I was nervous, or I would do a thing where I would clear my throat, read a sentence, clear my throat, go, read another one, then, and so they gave me a bunch of grief about that. So I figured, why not laugh at myself? So I thought, Danny Mumbles. Let's see if Danny Mumbles is taken in this whole social media world. And it, for the most part, it hasn't been an issue with it being taken. Some spots it was. So that's how that, yeah, but it's all good. So that's the background of Danny Mumbles. All right, so let's get into the countdown. Top 5. I'm going to try to use my hands because that's what they do, right? Even though it's not, yeah, who's talking like this in real life, you know? But you watch the news, they're like, meh, 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 meh. Other thing about the news. Why do you need to be on site covering a story that happened hours earlier? I'll just feel so bad about that 11 o'clock news person that's in a parking lot where somebody got shot earlier in the day. You know, not even it wasn't even in the same location, not the same parking lot. It's just some place that they set up shop just to be live. What? What? Anyway, side note, you're gonna hear a bunch of gripes or quips like that throughout, because that's how I roll. So, getting back. Let's get back here. Number 5, sports. So, I'm a girl dad. Sports is kind of a thing, but it's not always their thing. And so that's the rub, right? So I've had to kind of learn to scale back. And since it's just me, I gotta really like control myself. And it's been a struggle, because when this first started, you know, when they first started playing sports, I used to be one of those shouting from the sidelines, you know, run faster. It was just hard for me to understand, to think about why aren't you sprinting at the ball? Go get the ball. Just from my experience growing up, there was no issue about motivation. It was just, don't you want to win the game? So, number 5, sports. Number 4. Basically every parent I meet assumes that I have a spouse, a wife. So automatically I start debating in my own head. Do I tell them what happened? how much do I have to tell them? So usually I kind of, it hinges on whether I think I'm going to see them a lot or not. If I don't, I'll just let them assume what they're going to assume. And it usually turns out fine. Where it becomes more of a struggle is when you didn't tell them at the beginning, and then all of a sudden, a lot of little chores and get-togethers and stuff is piling up, and I eventually have to pull out the single dad card and say, no mas, no mas. I can't do anymore. So somebody's going to have to come and get the kids, or they're not doing that particular thing. Okay. Number three. Daughter issues are tough. So I'm obviously deficient in this department. I'm not going to know everything about what they are dealing with their bodies, their types of emotions. Not even necessarily types, sometimes. But the level of their emotional reactions are different. And it's just, there's a learning curve, and it's not like I'm an expert in any of this. So that is a struggle. So when, things like periods, boy problems, actually, it's almost equal. Girlfriends and boys. Some equally challenging things that happen with both of those sets of people. But so, yeah, I just have to, that's a struggle. I will always deal with, because it is what it is. Number two. So, what some, see, there you go. So what some people may not think about too often, being a single dad, I often get along better with the moms. So when I meet a new couple, whether it be through kids' sports, kids' schools, I'm often drawn to the moms more than the dads. Because, I haven't seen the latest football game. I've barely seen any shows, bruh. So I got nothing to offer. But I can talk about day-to-day family operations. And it just happens to be that it seems like the majority of the time, the moms are the ones doing the bulk of the workload, right? Raising the kids. The dads are usually, just talking about other things. And that's all good. I'm not downplaying all that. Usually, they have an arrangement worked out. It's just, like I said, I just get along better with, that's what I deal with the most in my life is the day-to-day operations of keeping this thing going, cooking, cleaning, all that jazz. Okay. The number one struggle of being a single dad. Every decision is on me. Every single one. So you can imagine the mental burden, the taxing, exhausting part of having to decide. I'll just say 90% of the decisions made in this house. And it can be from the simple, like, what are you doing today? To the, or when they ask, can I do this or that? Knee-jerk reaction is, yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, good. But then you have to think about what else is happening during that time frame. Is it really a good idea? What do I have to do to accommodate all that? And can she really do it then? Then I have to think about, so it can just balloon. And so, point being, it's rough. So when I relish the vacations I get, the times I get around family, where the kids can go off and do their own thing. It's funny when I'm in those situations and I'm like off with the adults. I know I can feel myself doing it. When they come in and ask for something or ask a question, I can feel the face I give them. Like, why are you talking to me? Go away. Don't you have somewhere to be? But yeah, so that is the number one struggle. That's it, people. Going forward, I plan on providing you all some more insights on my single dadding, ing, from also working with, I also work for the man, the government. I'll talk about that, the pros and the cons of all that. A lot of misconceptions, although some stereotypes can be quite true. I also plan on talking about some old college stories. I went to a pretty local state school here. We had some good times. So I'll be talking about that, how I met Lisa, my wife, and some more just things that happened. So I ask that you stay with me throughout all this. I plan on doing this for a while. Hopefully it works out, and hopefully it's more than a hobby. And on that note, please subscribe. Stay with me. Check out all the websites. Maybe get a little merch. But anyway, the main thing is come along. It'll be a good time. Trust me. Till next time, be nice, people.